What is you guys' body counts?
9, 10, 10.
3.
Whoa!
Dixon!
You know it's not 3. It's not 3.
How much is it?
It's like 11, 12.
11, 12?
Yeah, she's lying.
What was the question?
What's your body count?
It's 3.
Oh, it is? That's dope, that's
No,
dope.
2. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 2?
2.
Okay, bet that. What's your body count? Thinking about if you want to lie or say the truth?
Yeah, 7.
What are the chances I can be the next one?
Oh. Pretty high.
She want me. She want me. She want me.
What's your body count?
5.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. I don't know if I believe that. You looked away and you looked at her.
It's 5. I'll tell it to the camera. It's 5.
What are the chances I can make that 6?
Wait, what? I mean, you're really cute. 8%.
Oh, say less.
So let me get your number then.
This mama don't miss.
Say last sex partner or say
Body count.
Body count. My body count is 4.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
She's lying? We caught her capping.
Her body count is 0, bitch.
Oh. Okay. Who's your last sex partner though? What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? Jordan. His name is Jordan.
How college going? Good. So what's your body count?
0. I think I already talked to you though.
Oh, stop with that 0.
Oh, you got the hat on now. You got the hat on now.
Bro, she lying. Hey, why you saying thought she
I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. We know what you got. We know what you got. We know what you got.
Research from the Institute for Family Studies analyzed National Survey of Family Growth data and found that women with 10 or more premarital partners were the most likely to divorce within 5 years of marriage. Women with 0 to 1 partners were the least likely. This isn't an opinion from a podcast. This is federal survey data analyzed by a research institute. Men started reading the research. The research says the number matters.
You can indeed actually find out if a woman's being truthful about her body count or not. Here's a great example of this. Woman says, I've only slept with 4 dudes, right? And the guy's like, oh, okay, well, that's a really small amount, right? Who are they? It's, my ex Justin, my ex, Fred, my ex Chuck, and my ex Dan, right? And then, a couple of weeks in, you find out she has another ex named Steve. And you're like, hey, how long were you with him? And you're like, 3 months. And you're like, did you omit him from the body count? Yeah.
You can find out
and it's like, well, now you have good reason to suspect that
they're a liar.
You can indeed actually find out if a woman's being truthful about her body count or not. And if she was lying about that, you can easily assume that there's more, right?
Yes, and you should, if you want an honest person to have a relationship with, then you would discard them there. But because of the fact that they lied, so you can't trust anything else that they say.
I feel like if you're dating someone, like the passionate matter.
So let me ask you a question, just a quick question. If a man has a history of domestic violence, does his past matter?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't go digging into his, like, ex-relationships, like,
Wait, I'm sorry.
girlfriend.
If you were told by a friend of yours that a man you were dating had a history of domestic violence, you wouldn't go digging, really?
I actually got told a lot about my current boyfriend. Like, people came up to me and were telling me things about him when we went out. And from seeing his character, like, I knew that was just bullshit.
Okay, you didn't go poking around, though?
I didn't need to, because I didn't care about what was happening previously.
What if you were told that he had a history of kid diddling? Would you go poking around then, since you have a daughter at home?
I use my discernment on first person
your
that ever met my
discernment?
daughter.
Do you think that they're just going to announce themselves and all their creepy vibes are just going to come out at once? Okay, well, let me just ask this very simply then. Would you allow somebody who had ever diddled a kid around your daughter?
Obviously not.
Well, then I guess their history matters, doesn't it?
First got sober, I was homeless, I was jobless, I was carless. I had nothing besides the clothes on my back and my kids on my hips. And I'm not kidding. I bought this car when I was 2 months sober. It has been my baby for a little bit over 4 years. It's old, but it's done me good. And I'm selling this car today. And I'm a little bit emotional about it because it's a reminder of where I've come from and how much I've grown, and how much sobriety has brought me. I bought my dream car last night because of TikTok, and I'm just here to tell you, and I'll show you the dream car later. That's not what this is about. I'm here to tell you that your past doesn't define you. Your addictions don't define you. where you've come from and what you've been through doesn't define you, and it's never too late to start a new path, and it's never too late to chase your dreams. So say bye to my old, loyal, crusty, dusty car with me, because we are moving on to bigger and better things, and I'll never ever forget where I came from and how much joy this car brought me when I had absolutely nothing to my name.
A study published in the peer-reviewed journal Social Psychological and Personality Science found that number of sexual partners predicted a lower likelihood of marriage for women. Separate research from the same institute showed that women with double-digit partner counts consistently had the highest divorce probabilities across every cohort studied. When men say the number matters, they're not insecure, they're literate.
Hey ladies, this is your reminder that if you ever think you're being too mean to men, we're not being mean enough. Oh my god! We're not being mean enough, actually. And before someone says, it's not all men, it's not all men, oh, it's not all men, please. Zip it. Men who watch this and aren't fucking losers will know this isn't about them. Okay, moving on. It is the big 2026 and men still believe that the value of a woman can be determined by how many people she has slept with in her life. I don't think people realize how far we have not come in the past 2 centuries. Because to me, this is the modern version of a man asking a girl's father whether or not she is intact. A virgin. Like, I just cannot fathom the fact that these fucking freaks, instead of using their programming skills for like good or to like change the world, they're making a database of women's Instagrams using predictive AI in this database to determine how many people she's slept with based on her following and likes and a bunch of bullshit. Like, you know the info's inaccurate. But the fact that they went to these lengths, I'm sick. I feel like I could throw the fuck up. So again, do not feel bad for being mean to men. And again, men who aren't fucking horrible will know that your anger isn't directed at them. And if it is, like, good for you, girl. I don't care.
All right. So in a hilarious twist of fate, apparently there is a new app, which is the man's response to the T app, called Box Score. Before any of you pervs ask me, it's 1. Creeps. But I do think it's kind of funny. However, I can't find it in the App Store. I can't find any information about it online other than just claiming it exists. But let's say that it does exist, and it's basically the male version of the T app, where it's like exposing women's red flags and trying to keep men safe. Guys, 2 wrongs don't make a right. While yes, it's funny that that would be a response, it's still not good. It's still not okay to dox people. It's still not okay to be a coward and talk about people behind their back, especially when they can't defend themselves. Do not be like that. Men and women need to stop with these silly games and recognize the value in one another and work together.
Okay. You got me there. But that is not a crime.
The average number of premarital partners reported by women has been increasing in recent years, according to National Survey of Family Growth data. But here's the issue. Research shows women consistently underreport their number when asked. Men know this. The trust gap isn't about insecurity. It's about documented dishonesty meeting documented consequences. When the data says lying is common and the outcomes say the number matters, verification becomes rational.
Girlfriend lying about body count for 3 years.
Mad.
Jesus, crazy. Am I in the wrong for being mad? I decided to go through my girlfriend's recently deleted iMessages and found messages of her and a guy I went to school with that was supposedly her guy best friend. They were secretly knocking around the same time she was talking to me and hanging out with me. Every time I would ask her about her body count, she never mentioned that partner. She mentioned everyone but him. Even when we were officially together, they would hang out as just friends to my knowledge. But I know my girlfriend would never cheat on me since this was technically before we got together. Her excuse was that if she told me, I would think differently of her and wouldn't have talked to her, potentially her not ending up being my girlfriend. She just says she's really sorry and feels bad. She knows she messed up, but I don't know how to feel right now. We are going on almost 4 years. Do I break up with her? What do I do?
Did he say the body count and
no, he didn't say the body count. But why does he care about her body count?
It's important.
I think it's because, like,
you think a body count's important for a relationship?
Absolutely.
So you'd ask your girl
100%.
her body count.
It will change the way you look at her.
As a man, I'm saying that.
As a man.
I feel like a lot of men will agree.
Do you know the first mistake she made was not deleting the deleted messages?
Rosie, you know you're wicked.
Like, if you're gonna hide something, hide it.
Follow through.
Hide it well.
No, you better follow through.
That's one thing I'm gonna do. You will not catch my deleted messages. Not that I'm deleting any messages, but like that's kind of like your photos when you goes into the deleted folder.
After God, fear women.
No, she exactly. I fear men. But it's like, you know, when you delete a photo and it goes into your deleted file, and then you don't delete it from there, and it's still there for how many months after? What was the point of deleting it? It's still in your phone.
Yeah.
Complete the mission.
Yo. Nah.
Complete the mission.
Nah, but
like it's a bit mad though.
Listen.
There's kind of this mentality in the alpha male podcast bro world that if a woman has too many sexual partners, it ruins her pair bonding and that she'll never be able to like bond with a man or love a man or something like that. I've also seen a lot of scientific evidence that say that the same thing can hold true for men. We just don't talk about it for men, that if men have too many sexual partners, that can ruin their ability to have a relationship with a woman and that can inhibit their ability to have a long-term relationship. That's not just women. My argument would be not so much that it is the act of having sex with too many men that causes a woman to not be able to pair bond, that it's actually a woman who is actively sleeping with a lot of men is likely doing it because of some kind of past trauma, some kind of disconnection from her body, possibly some kind of addictive behavior or some way she's distracting herself from something. Like that, those things are leading her to have sexual encounters with more men so that when she does enter into a relationship, it's not that she's had more sexual partners that's the issue. It's that whatever it was that was causing her to go to promiscuity as a trauma response or as a coping mechanism or something, it's that thing that's causing them problems in a long-term relationship. Because most of those things that would cause you to use promiscuity as a trauma response or a coping mechanism are the same things that are going to make it difficult for you to be in a long-term relationship. So it's not that if you have sex with so many people or a certain number of people that you're necessarily broken from that. But the thing is, you haven't dealt with like the root issue. And if you deal with the root issue, then you're more likely to be able to have a healthy long-term relationship with someone, even if you may have had more sexual partners. And I want to make it clear because I've had people make assumptions when I talk about this stuff, like, oh, she's just trying to justify having a lot of sexual partners. I haven't. Wasn't somebody who slept around. I personally am somebody who was more on the extreme good girl mentality of actually having to figure out how to connect with her sexuality, which for me is still a work in progress. So I don't say any of this stuff to justify promiscuity. I'm just not shaming it. I'm not judging it. Because I do believe that women who sleep around, and I gotta be honest with you, men who are really promiscuous too, it's usually coming from some kind of a trauma response or some kind of coping mechanism.
Will a promiscuous lifestyle hinder your chances at finding a healthy relationship in the future?
This is kind of a two-part question. So your past does not necessarily dictate your future. And what I mean by that is like, no one should be judged by their past. Like just because you may have been promiscuous doesn't mean that you aren't going to be capable of having a healthy, committed relationship. Okay. But there's a caveat to that. If you're so used to being promiscuous, having casual sex, not having any kind of emotional connection, that can become a pattern for you to where it's really hard for you to actually build emotional intimacy. A lot of people who err on the side of being more promiscuous do have a deep fear of intimacy, and they don't have the ability, or they haven't had the ability yet, or they're not allowing themselves to actually be emotionally intimate with someone.
Research on pair bonding shows that accumulating many sexual partners can make it harder to form a stable, emotionally committed union. Women with high partner counts show higher rates of relationship dissatisfaction, increased likelihood of infidelity, and lower marital stability. The mechanism is partly psychological, comparison thinking, and partly neurochemical. The bonding system isn't infinite. It wears.
Well, I hope you guys are happy. That guy that I really liked, he found out about my job and it's not okay with it. I guess one of his friends told him. I was just waiting to tell him because I wanted him to get to know me, not.
This stuff genuinely sad, man. You know, like, I'm gonna be honest, any woman out here who's doing this kind of work, you know, no dude worth anything is gonna want any part of that. You know, and it's a cold lesson. It really, really is. You know, and if there's men out here that message me all the time, Al, you know, should I date her if she has an OF, or should I date her if she's a stripper, or homie, it's gonna be nothing but problems, drama, and stress, and it's just not something you want to be dealing with. A real man is going to look for a real woman, a woman with wifey qualities, going to be able to, you know, to bring peace and love and up to that relationship, you know, and you're not going to find that with this. I don't blame him for walking away. I really don't. Stop settling with this kind of crap, G. Jim, Gron, and God, you guys focus on your life, on your purpose, find something that makes you fired up inside and go after it every.
Do you understand why guys would have a problem with a woman with a high body count, though? Do you understand the logic behind it?
I think it's insecurity.
Having high body count means you cannot keep a relationship. It means that you are just a number in an endless list of random strangers. So if you had to date 100 people and you got unlucky in all of them, the common factor in all of that, it's you.
Wolfinger's analysis found that roughly 33% of women with 10 or more premarital partners divorced within 5 years. Compare that to 18% for women with 0 to 1 partners. That's nearly double the failure rate. Men who ask the body count question before committing aren't being controlling. They're reading the actuarial table. Insurance companies wouldn't cover those odds. Neither should he.
So I'm probably gonna get shit for this video, but honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna make it anyway. I wanna talk about guys that reject hot chicks and then slum. Meaning you dated a hot girl and then decided that hot girl was not for you and are now dating a girl that is not nearly as hot. Obviously, there can be a lot of factors as to why you reject a hot girl. This is just a very broad generalization, but I'm gonna say it. I think the main reason that men reject hot women is because they don't want to have to work that hard. I mean, I think it's no secret that hot chicks tend to have higher expectations and higher standards than maybe less attractive women. I know how that sounds. It sounds really bad, but I think it's just because, again, hot chicks are just used to being treated a certain way. So I do think oftentimes when attractive men meet attractive women, they're almost like, crap, I'm actually gonna have to put in a lot of work here. Whereas girls that are less attractive just don't require that much work. To be clear, I think that you guys should be putting in work for whoever you are dating, no matter what they look like. But I think that girls that are less attractive, I mean, they're gonna be more likely to just accept you for how you are. They're gonna appreciate you more. They're going to demand less. They're gonna make you feel better about yourself. Again, obviously, I'm sure that it's like you could break up with a hot chick because she's just an asshole. But if that were really the case, then why wouldn't you date another hot girl afterwards? And yes, I understand that obviously other things than looks are more important, and you could have matured and realized like, hey, I actually want to date somebody that I have shit in common with and makes me laugh and that's smart and cool and not just hot. But there are hot girls that have good personalities and that are smart and cool and you have things in common with too. They're just higher maintenance. I get it, you're gonna call me shallow and all of that, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me for more tips.
A promiscuous woman with a beautiful, immaculate, gorgeous face will have the same misogynistic men who preach that they refuse to date a girl with a high body count, then turn around and beg on their hands and knees to date that girl. I saw this happen in high school when I used to be friends with this girl whose face was just so perfect and I was constantly in awe of how beautiful she was. She ended a very long-term relationship and sort of responded by being very promiscuous and seeing a lot of different boys in her bed on a weekly basis. And the stories that she would tell me about how she wrapped these guys around her finger from one night together had me absolutely gobsmacked. This took place in the South, and a lot of the characters in the stories that she would tell me about, I knew them in real life and they were unapologetically misogynistic and bigoted. So hearing these men who are constantly preaching their opinions so quickly turn on what they're saying because they fell victim to a gorgeous face just made me feel so smug, because they try so hard to justify the hatred behind their words with the mask of morality and values. And they're so weak-minded they can't even follow through with a rule they made up for themselves.
The body count conversation isn't about shaming anyone's past. It's about informed decision-making for the future. The research exists, the data is published, the correlations are documented. A man who screens for partner count is doing the same thing a bank does before approving a loan. Checking the risk profile. That's not insecurity, that's due diligence. Subscribe to Alpha Reloaded for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit that like button on your way out. See you next time.